Yo. Hello. I'm just going to wait and see if anyone joins me live before I start ranting and riffing, as I tend to do. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Matthew and Nicole, Scott, Clint, I believe. Hey. So drop me a comment and say hello if you're sticking around and you want to know about all the things manifestation, or if you've seen me around online and you're like, what the frack is this crazy bitch up to? I'll answer those questions as well. G'day, love. I'd also love to know if you guys have ever seen any of my other live streams on my personal page or my Facebook group or anything. So if you know what you're in for, or if you are completely new to the world of this peculiar curly lady, I'll just give a couple of minutes to see if we've got anyone else jumping on live. And in the meantime, those of you who are already here, if you'd like to drop any questions that you have about manifestation, or if you feel like you understand what manifestation is, what manifesting is, but maybe you don't really understand how to do it, or you see other people having a lot of success and just kind of magically kind of go, I want this, and then ping, it shows up in their life and you're like, for fuck's sake, why won't it work for me? I will warn you now, this is not safe for children. I do very much swear like a sailor, so get into it, kids. So yeah, drop your questions in the comments. Let's see. I did a poll on my Instagram stories a couple of days ago to see if any of my followers had questions for me. And so I have a couple of things already lined up to fire off at you guys. When I get into the flow zone, I just kind of channel and whatever comes through. So I will trust the message as I always do. For those of you who don't know me, how do I describe what I do? I don't really have an elevator pitch. Never have. In like my 7 years of business, people have always tried to get me to pin down, what is it you actually do, Georgina? And I'm like, magic? Is that a good enough answer? But basically what I do, I tend to work with entrepreneurs, business owners. I tend to work with people who either want to grow their business, want to work on growing their financial income and their impact in their business. I have a transmission of kind of bold expression, shameless expression, that kind of thing. And one of the things that I do tend to work on with people is this idea of manifestation. It's not the main thing that I do, but it's what the Awakening Festival have seen me do, and therefore it's what they've asked me to come and speak to you about today. So one of the questions that I got about manifesting, one of the blocks that I was given, was how can I recognize the voice of fear versus the voice of my intuition when it comes to what I want? So this is actually a very common question. So if you resonate with this, give me some love hearts, give me a little fuck yeah in the comments if this is something that you're like, yeah, that totally resonates with me. When we get an intuitive nudge, it tends to be quite instant. It tends to be the scary thing or the exciting thing or the thing that like really lights us up. And then the mind will come in and start telling us, it will start logicking, as it likes to do. And it will start telling us all the reasons why we shouldn't do it or we couldn't do it, or the questions that you'll often notice coming up when you've dropped out, well, when you've kind of gone into the mind and out of the body when it comes to your intuition and manifestation, and when you're looking at your desires and your intuition and all this good stuff. If it's in the body, your body is always going to be like a fuck yes or a hell no. The body doesn't really go, oh, yeah, I'm not so sure. Like the body will know, like, oh my God, this feels like a really exciting thing to do, or fuck, this feels terrifying and I really don't want to do it. Why would I ever want to do that thing? That feels horrible. Okay, so your body always knows. It's actually being very clear with you. It's when the mind gets involved that we start to question ourselves. So sometimes, bizarrely, we can actually talk ourselves into thinking that we want something as much as we can into out of wanting something. So for this question around how do I recognize fear versus my intuition, your intuition is in the body, fear is in the mind. Yes, we also feel fear in our body, of course we do, but when it comes to our wants and desires, our system is not afraid of us getting what we want. So if you take nothing else away from this tonight, take that away. Our system, our body, our nervous system wouldn't allow us to receive anything that it perceives to be dangerous, right? So we don't want anything that isn't for us. Any questions? Let me know. The other question that came up was, how can I keep faith and hold the vision when waves of self-doubt, depression, and lower vibrational emotions and energies are present? So I think there's a lot of myths about manifesting. There's a lot of myths about having to stay in like a high vibe state, having to be like high vibrational so that you're, like magnetically, that you're attracting the thing. Now look, here's the thing. Yes, that helps. That speeds shit up for sure. When you're in that state of like, yes, it's done, I'm flowing through my life and amazing stuff is happening. Yes, that's a really good place to be. But there really isn't anything that can stop you from manifesting. So I think we have this mindset, and it can really be a simple reframe. So from going from what's blocking me from having the thing I want, like, well, it's impossible for you not to get the thing that you want. What about if you started to see it that way? Because everything is actually about belief. Every thought carries a vibration, and a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking over and over again, right? And it feels like a truth to you. So it is something you can reprogram consciously just by catching yourself and choosing a different thought. And a great way to do this is actually to kind of go, right, this is what I want. So say you want you want to make 6 figures in your business in a month, and you're like, right, okay, I want to make $100,000 in my business in April. Great. So you'd write that down. This is what I want. And then after that, you'd be like, right, here are all the reasons why I can't have it, why I feel I'm not worthy of having it, why I wouldn't want it, why would it be dangerous for me to have it? And start looking at all of the things that start to come, all the stories that are going to come up. And it's all bullshit. Remember that. Yeah. So anything that tells you that you can't have what you want is a lie. And when you start to really believe that as a truth, it gets a lot easier to start understanding that when you feel fear or doubt, or you get any of these negative stories popping up in your mind, that's all they are. They're just negative stories, because we are actually limitless. We are just infinite potential. We are just molecules, atoms floating in space. The fact we're even here is a fucking miracle. Like, one sperm, one egg, and poof, here you are. Like, that in itself is fucking amazing. So you are inherently worthy and deserving of everything that you desire. And there actually is never anything blocking us from receiving what we want. We are always worthy and deserving of having what we want in life. It's only the mind that gets in our way. So when you start working with the body more, when I say working with the body, I really mean communicating with it. Like, you don't have to suddenly start having like a massage every day, although I wouldn't say no. I'm all right. But it's about like dropping into the body, learning to communicate with the body. And I don't know, where you guys are in your spiritual or emotional, energetic practices. So I don't know whether this is kind of all completely new to you, or whether you're like, oh yeah, no, I totally get what this bish is talking about. Yeah, I have a daily practice where I go and talk to my emotional body. Maybe you already do. And if you do, again, cheers. If not, it's something that's really wise to start bringing into your daily life, because it will up-level your ability to understand, again, this question around what's fear and what is intuition. And it will also help you to see in this other question here around having faith and holding the vision, all this good stuff. When you have a low vibration, what we might call a low vibrational mood or state or emotion come up in your life, it becomes very easy to notice that you're out of alignment. And alignment is this buzzword that's like buzzed quite literally around the spiritual community and the coaching community. We all talk about alignment, but alignment is really different for everybody. So what looks externally like someone else's alignment might be completely different to what feels in alignment for you. So this also comes down to, I work with another modality called human design, and I have what's called an open head center. So I'm very susceptible to compare and despair, very susceptible to seeing what other people are doing, to seeing what other people have, and what looks like success, and go, oh, that's what I want. But, and here's the kicker, if it isn't for you, you won't receive it. Doesn't matter how hard you work, or how hard you strive, or how hard you try and prove that you're worthy of this thing. If it's actually not what you want, if it's not one of your deepest desires, you can work as much as you want, and even if you got it, you still won't be happy. So one of the key things I believe around manifestation is understanding, what do I really want? What are my true desires? Not what do I see everyone else wanting and everyone else receiving, and, what are my judgments on what makes someone else successful or happy? It's really about what I want, because we're all completely different. So again, if anyone's got any questions, please just drop them in. As a manifesting generator, I respond. So it's really helpful for me and for you if you ask me questions. Excuse my little slurp. Okay, so I actually wrote something down. It's not like me to make notes. If you've ever seen me do a live stream before, it's very unusual for me to write a note or prepare in any way. It's kind of what happens when you channel in it. It's all just like in the moment, and that. I wrote something down because I was writing down the questions, and this just kind of flowed through me. So I want to just read this to you real quick. What I've put here about this idea of, how do I keep the faith, or how do I hold the vision when I feel like I'm depressed, or I'm in self-doubt, or if I'm feeling those lower vibrational emotions or energies, how do I hold the vision when I don't feel like it's going to happen? And I remember, I think it's Amanda Francis, if you don't know her, she's an incredible money coach on the Tinterwebs. Go check her out. She's amazing. And she talks about, faith isn't truly activated until it looks like the thing isn't going to happen. It's easy for us to have faith when we're like excited about something, or when we can see things starting to happen. For example, I run an online business. It's very easy for me to have faith when I put an offering out there and I get lots of feedback immediately. Even if no one buys it straight away, if I get lots of positive response, it's very easy for me to remain in faith. But that's not really faith. That's just me going, oh, yay, people like it. Woohoo. Faith is only really activated when no one's commenting and no one's buying, and it looks like this motherfucker ain't gonna happen. Because if I can still hold faith that somewhere in the quantum, if you haven't read about anything to do with quantum physics and quantum entanglement, I highly recommend you do if you're interested in manifestation. It will blow your mind. We're not going to go into that now. That's another live stream for another day. Or come and join my Facebook group, because I talk about this shit all the time. So basically, everything that you want, every possible life and outcome for yourself, like a la sliding doors, is available to you, is happening right now. I know I sound like a crazy person, but bear with me. Part of you deep down inside knows that life that you want is actually available to you. Otherwise you wouldn't be aware of it. You wouldn't be aware that it's a desire of yours if it wasn't actually possible. Do you get me? So quantum entanglement. Just get back in my body. I'm very excited, all up in my head, and I'm like, come back down into your body, Georgina. So when we look at something like quantum entanglement, we know that everything is existing all at the same time. It's really just a decision about opting into that timeline, opting into that energetic slipstream, and choosing that outcome for our life. So a great mentor of mine called Nick Tillier, again, look him up, he's amazing. I'm just giving you all these amazing people to follow because they are truly incredible. So one of the things that Nick talks about, and I've mentioned this in live streams before, so if you have seen any of my content, you've heard this story before, bear with me because it does bear repeating, and you'll go, oh yeah, I remember that. That was really helpful. So something that Nick told me when we were working together was, when it comes to manifestation, think about it like a party. when you know you're going to a party, you don't think about like, oh, I'm going to have to queue outside, and oh, like I'm going to have to wait and it's going to be cold and I'm going to be standing there. You're not putting all your energy into that bit. You're putting your energy into knowing that you get to be at the party. Do you see what I'm saying? So don't focus all of your energy on the lead up to the thing that you want. Just decide that the thing you want is already done and feel that energy in your body, right? So be at the party. Be at the party. Be in the thing that you want. I have an actual example of doing this that worked real well for me. Last year, I launched a book called From Hot Mess to Success, and I was determined, even though it scared the living shit out of me, I was determined to become an international bestseller on Amazon. I was like, this is going to happen. I'd seen other people who were doing the same writing program as me. I'd seen them get the thing. They'd all become international bestsellers. And I was like, oh shit, now the pressure's on because I've seen other people do it. Like now, what if I don't? And the doubt started to creep in. I started to doubt myself, and it was really, I could feel that low vibrational doubt energy kind of coming in and like harshing my vibe. So what I did, this is something very specific that you can do. I went for a run and I put my music in and I went for a run, and on the run, I decided, okay, it's the day after, bearing in mind this was like 2 days before the book launch. In the run, I was like, right, it's the day after the launch. Oh my God, I've just received news from my publisher that we've gone, international bestseller. It's happened. How does it feel in my body? And I went on my run and I felt that energy in my body, but not just felt the energy. I was telling myself all the things in my head that I would be saying, like, oh my God, I can't believe how easy it was. Whoa, I had no idea. I just woke up this morning and I had that message from Dave telling me, right? So I was like telling myself and speaking to myself as though it had already happened. So when I launched the book a few days later, it became a bestseller within the day. And then when I woke up the next morning, I did have a message from my publisher saying, holy shit, it's an international bestseller. In fact, in the UK, you're more popular than the Bible. And he sent me a screenshot of the Amazon page that was like, I was at number 1 and the Bible was at number 2. Which is very, very satisfying. Georgina Knoll, more popular than the Bible. That manifestation process, the reason that worked was because I was detached from the outcome. I was detached. I wasn't like, this has to happen, this has to happen. I was like, it's done. There was a level of certainty around it, like, it's done. I was embodying it as though it had already happened. So I became a magnet for it. It couldn't, there was no way that it couldn't happen. It had to happen because I was embodying it being done, right? Are you picking up what I'm pinning down here? Is this making sense to you? And I tell you this story because I always find that when I have an actual story, when I have heard someone tell me something about their life that I can anchor into and remember, like, fuck, yeah, I remember Georgina saying about she went for a run and she was, so this is an example of something that actually happened in my life in order to assist you when you are in those moments of doubt, or you are in those moments of, holy shit, I don't think this is going to happen. How could this possibly happen? You can create this for yourself. I mean, it was insane the way that it happened. So yeah, and it really did feel easy. I remember a friend of mine a few days later saying to me, well, how does it feel? How does it feel to be like a best-selling author? And I just was like, it feels the same, because I had a level of certainty, and certainty is really the energy that you want when you're looking at manifestation. So get into the energy of it being done. The idea of having to hold a vision really doesn't work for me personally, because I'm not a very visual person. I actually find it quite tricky to visualize what a manifestation is going to look like. I'm also what's called a non-specific manifester. So there are 2 different types of manifestors. There's specific manifestors and non-specific. And if you want to find that out, you want to download your human design chart from either the IHDS, which is International Human Design School, or Jovian Archive, which is Jovian archive.com. Go on there, get the free chart, and it will have little arrows on it. And the arrows dictate one of the arrows dictates what kind of manifestor you are. Now, I'm non-specific, so that means that and you don't even have to get a chart really, because you'll probably know you'll resonate with one of these more than the other. A non-specific manifestor is somebody like myself who I don't really visualize it. I don't write it down in like meticulous details of all the things, because I actually don't know all of the details. I tend to just kind of know what it's going to feel like, what I'll be saying to myself, what other people might be saying to me, how I'm going to feel about myself. I just looked at the clock and it was 2020, and I'm such a little woo-woo that I'm like, oh, 2020, repeating numbers, angels. Yes, I'm one of those. So there's that. That's non-specific. You don't have to get really clear on all of the details. You just get into the energy of like, how's it going to feel when this has happened? How am I going to feel in my body? What am I going to think about myself? What new beliefs am I going to have? And then I love that mindful mom of Jersey having a little truckle along with me there, my little woo-woo. You do it as well. Don't tell me there's someone on here who doesn't go, oh, it's 11:11 when you see it on your clock. You know you do. Cheers. So a specific manifestor is somebody who can literally sit down, pen to paper, and write out every single detail. They'll know what time they're going to wake up, what, the air's going to smell like. They're going to know every single little detail. So neither of these are right or wrong. One of them will probably resonate with you more than the other. For me personally, as a non-specific manifestor, if I get too caught up in the details, I will start asking myself, but how? How am I going to do that? How is this going to work? And how is the destroyer of joy? Because we don't need to know how. And actually, if we did know how, life would probably be quite boring, because then we get caught up in all the little minutiae, all the little steps along the way. And that's not really how it works. The universe wants you to have what you want. I actually wrote down here to remind you, like, here's an affirmation for you that I think just take it and run with it. Well, there's two. There's what you want wants you. I just believe that what I want is also out in the vortex, in the quantum field, wanting me as well. And it's really just a case of me going, oh, I want this thing, and like clicking into the certainty that I get to have it in order for it to land into my life. And the other thing that I like to give my clients, another affirmation that I give them, is this or something better. So sometimes they'll really get very attached to wanting a certain outcome on something, and I'm like, don't get so attached, it'll be fine. Whether it happens or whether it doesn't happen doesn't make you any less worthy or deserving or lovable or anything. Like, it doesn't mean anything about you as a human if you don't get the thing that you think you want. So sometimes they'll want something and they'll get very, very attached to getting this thing and this specific outcome, and it won't happen. And I will always say to them, just remember, it is this or something better. And I'm always right. What can I say? When people come and work with me, they get used to it. They get used to me being right, and they just start listening to me. I'm also incredibly humble. And thirsty, apparently. Right, what did I want to read to you? We could be here all night, guys, so buckle up, get your hot cocoa, we're going in. So the thing that I wrote down earlier about this idea of, needing to be like in a high vibrational state all the time, I've just put, it's a myth that anything can prevent you from receiving what you desire. The actions and practices, so like all of these things like going for a run or, the 5x55, which I teach people in my Money Mindset Reset program, the 5x55, which is where you write in a notebook, you just get a special notebook for it. It can just be like a really simple notebook, but allocate something specifically for this. Use a red pen because red signals to the brain that this is important and something to be remembered. And for 5 days, you write the same sentence 55 times. So each day you write it out exactly the same 55 times, close the book, and then forget about it. And you do that for 5 days. It is magic. And if you do this, please message me and let me know when you get the thing you want, because it is insane. So many people have used it to get the money to come and work with me. Like, I will manifest X amount of money to work with Georgina, and then have said to me, I did the exercise and that's how I got the money to pay you. And I'm like, that's amazing. So it really, really fucking works. But anyway, so the actions and all these things that we do, they work because we believe that they work. And we like to have an exchange of energy. As humans, it's very difficult for us because we've been conditioned to believe that we have to do something in order to receive something. That we've been taught that life is transactional and that our value and our worth is dictated by how much we can offer in return for the thing. And actually, that's really not fucking true. We are worthy and deserving inherently just because we exist on this planet. We are worthy and deserving. You are worthy and deserving of everything you want. I will keep saying that over and over again until you start to believe it. God damn it. So it's a myth that anything can prevent you receiving what you desire. The actions and practices work because we like to tie actions to our receiving, but life isn't all transactional. Actions simply fortify your belief in your worthiness. So yes, that's what I have to say about that. Is there anything else that I felt I needed to say to you today? Oh, so one of the other reasons that the running works, so there's two things really that made the running thing work for me with the book. An altered state. So I was altering the chemistry of my body by going for a run. I was increasing adrenaline and endorphins and like all of these amazing chemicals surging through my body. But also it's a distraction whilst I'm running. I'm listening to music and I'm thinking all of the thoughts about the, you know, what it's going to be like when I become this international best-selling author. I'm distracted from the how. I'm distracting myself from being really, really attached, like holding on to, I need to have this thing. And I'm bringing fun and playfulness into it. There are so many different practices with manifestation. There's a thing you can do with chaos magic called creating a sigil. I don't know if any of you have ever done this before, but it's where you write something down and you create a symbol out of it. And I teach a lot of my clients how to do this. You then draw it on your body, or you draw it on a piece of paper and then you burn it, or if you put it on your body, you go and exercise, or, you know, whatever. There's lots of different things. I teach people how to do this. But what happens is you distort the words on the page by creating an image from them, which means, again, that you're releasing attachment to things needing to be a certain way. Now, I have an open head in human design. So I know, and an open ajna center, for those of you who are into human design, so have an open head and an open ajna center. And this means that, as I said before, I'm very open to compare and despair, but it also means that I have constant access to unlimited inspiration, too many ideas. And a lot of them aren't actually mine. I'll just be picking up everything that's in the collective consciousness and like channeling it through me, which is a lot. So anyone who has an open head in human design, I'm sure you can relate to that. Hey, Annalise, I answered your question. You'll have to come back and watch the replay. So what did I want to say here? Yeah, so distraction is really good for me because I can't remember whether it's the open head or whether it's the open ajna that asks how. One of them asks how and one of them asks why. So when I get into like, how am I going to do it? How am I going to make it happen? But how? I'm no longer looking at the thing. Okay? So once again, I'm no longer in the energy of the party. If I'm asking how am I going to get there? What's the next step? How I need to know every single step before I take the first one, then you're so caught up in the how that the thing you want could literally be fucking like going, I'm here, bitch, look over here, I'm waiting for you. And you wouldn't see it because you're so busy looking at how am I going to get there? And it's like, well, you could literally be there if you just lifted your head up and looked at the thing and decided, like, just went, oh, I'll have this. Yeah. So when you get caught up in the how, you've got an open head too. It's a motherfucker, isn't it? So yeah, when you get caught up in the how, that's one of your open centers just trying to fuck with you, and you actually don't need to know how. So one of the biggest gifts you can give yourself is to, well, I mean, if you really want to, you can write a plan. Yeah, write a plan, set it aside, and then just decide that this is one way it could happen, but there are infinite other ways, and I am available to being shown infinite other ways that this thing can come into my life. Right, how's everyone doing? We are coming up to the half-hour mark, so I want to just give a check-in, see how everyone's doing. If everyone's got any questions, please let me know. And I'll see if anything else wants to come through me. I think we can probably do a little clear around something. Just give you a second to pop your comments in if you have any. This is late. Hey, it's like, I don't normally do live streams this late. I was saying to my boyfriend, I was like, oh my God, I have to like keep myself awake. And he said, have a coffee. I'm like, fuck off, I'm having a coffee at 8 o'clock at night. I won't get to sleep. But I know as soon as I sit down and actually start talking about the things that I'm passionate about, all the energy comes to me. It's like I'm a sacral being. So it's just like creativity. Okay, so what we're going to do real quick, we're going to do one really simple little clear. Now, the way that this works, some of you, I recognize the names here, so hello, you know what's about to happen. Those of you who don't know me, I can't do anything to your energy or in your energy without your permission, okay? That's the first thing. You have full responsibility over your energy and over engaging in this clear or not. Whether you watch this live or on the replay, it doesn't actually matter. It will still be effective if you decide to lean in energetically. So the way that I think about this is literally like when I sit, if I can feel like I'm being drawn in, yeah? So you can either just go, no, I'm going to watch, but I'm not interested in being part of this. And you can just kind of close off your energy. Just be like, no, I'm just going to watch. If you want to be involved in the clear around manifestation, just visualize, imagine, just feel your energy kind of leaning in towards the screen. And I'd also love it if you give me some hearts or drop a little comment and say, yes, I'm in. What we're going to be clearing, we're just going to do a really simple clear around any emotional blocks that might be stopping you from fully embodying and believing that you get to manifest everything you desire. And there'll usually be something that's at the top of your list, right? There'll usually be money or love or something to do with your body. There'll usually be something that you are actively looking to manifest right now. So if you feel to, again, live or on the replay, it doesn't matter because, you know, quantum as fuck. Everything has already happened and is already happening. So don't worry about it. This will work for you. Even if you're watching on the replay, type into the comments if you want to, what it is that you desire or what you feel blocked around receiving in your life. And then we're going to go ahead and do a little clear. So I'll give you a moment to just type your response. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do muscle testing, like in kinesiology. If you've ever had kinesiology with a muscle test, that's effectively what I'm doing. Is I'm feeling into the collective energy of anyone who is watching this live stream live or on the replay, and I'm going to feel into any emotional blocks. Now, this is really important, so please pay attention to this. If you are pregnant, or if you suspect that you may be, or you are trying to become, and there is even the slimmest tiny little chance that possibly you might be pregnant, only use these points here. So you just put the thumb and 2 fingers on this side, either side of the head, and the lightness of touch is like you were touching someone's eyelids. It's really gentle. Your energetic system is incredibly sensitive. So you're just literally just holding there and you'll just breathe. You might even start to feel like when you do this, you might even feel like a bit of a magnety feeling in your head, right? So just do that. Everyone else who definitely isn't pregnant, then you can do whichever points I show you on the body. It might be this one, but there are various other points that we can rub as well. So everyone just leaning in. If you wish to take part in this clear, great. We've got some money, somebody wanting money, excellent. Who doesn't want more money? I mean, it's good, isn't it? You can buy shit. And one day we can travel again. One day we can spend our money on traveling. It'll be so exciting when the world allows us to do such things with ease and grace. Soon, please. Let's manifest that. So everyone just taking a nice deep breath for me. If you feel to have your feet flat on the floor, maybe just kind of straighten your spine up a little bit, like become active in your body, become engaged in your body. If you're just like sitting and just kind of like, become embodied, be in your body, feel your body, be in your body. That's where the magic happens. So just take a couple of nice deep breaths with me and just start focusing on feeling into or visualizing, if that's your thing, that which you most desire to manifest into your life right now. Don't worry if stories come up about why you can't have it or whatever, like it's absolutely fine. Everything is perfect here. There's no right or wrong. Just keep coming back to what it is that you want, noticing where in your body you visualize or feel kind of an energetic charge and emotion. Maybe you feel a contraction or a constriction in the body. Maybe you feel kind of butterflies or a tingling. Whatever it is for you is perfect. So just being with that for a moment, taking a nice big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I'm going to go ahead and test. Now, I will just warn you again, if you've never done this for me before, I might burp, I might cough, I might yawn. All of these things are perfectly normal. You may have tears, you may sneeze, you may have tummy gurgles, you may trump. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Bodily functions happen when you do this kind of clearing. It's one of the best bits. So let's just check in here, thinking about the thing that you want, visualizing it, feeling into receiving it or how elusive it seems, any contraction in the body. Okay, so testing into the collective of this Awakening Festival Instagram live, testing for live and on the replay, and checking that everyone will receive the benefit if they decide to lean in and embody and embrace the clear. Yes, perfect. So even though everyone is manifesting something different, we want to find the main emotional block to them receiving exactly what it is that they desire. Interesting. So the first emotion that has come up is disgust, and it's in the stomach. And so I'm going to have to reveal to you that I am in fact wearing pajama bottoms because the stomach meridian. Get ready, people, you're about to see my dachshund pajama bottoms. The stomach meridian is on the outside of the shin, about 4 fingers down, right? So 4 fingers under the kneecap on the outside, and you're going to rub there, but you're going to rub both sides. Again, if you feel that you might be pregnant or you definitely know you are, use these. It will do the same thing, but for those of you who can, about 4 fingers down from the kneecap on the outside of the shin and that squishy bit there. You're going to rub there, and the emotion we are clearing is disgust. And as you are rubbing these points, just breathe. I always recommend that you breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. It just helps to circulate the energy. If you're burping, coughing, sneezing, yawning, if tears come, whatever happens, that's fine. When it comes to disgust, it is literally like pushing away. And because it's in the stomach, the organ, the stomach, this is really about receiving. Bizarrely, I did an EFT tapping video on receiving nourishment from life yesterday on my Instagram page, which, by the way, if you want to follow, is at Georgina Knoll EFT. But yeah, I did an IGTV thing yesterday about receiving nourishment from life. So it's interesting that we've got a stomach install come up here, because the stomach is really about allowing things in. So you might find, for example, those of you who are looking to manifest money, you may find that actually you can receive it, but it seems to just fly out of the door, or you get close to it, but you can't quite like hold onto it. You can't be nourished by it. You can't receive it fully. So it'd be interesting to see what you guys have to say about that in the comments. So again, nice big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, rubbing those points. Okay. And obviously keep communicating with me in the comments. This is a collaborative experience. Okay, is that cleared? Yes, great. So just feel into how your body feels now when you think about receiving that thing. Okay, is there anything else blocking the collective energy from receiving that which we most desire? There is. Okay, how many more blocks have we got? Is it one or is it two? Is it one? Is it two? Okay, we've got two more. So we're going to do two more. So the first one is fire, earth, metal, and large intestine. Dogma, guilt, shame. It's in the large intestine. So you're going to rub this point here. It's like a squidgy bit. And you're going to do both sides. So just swap. Again, like you can be fairly vigorous with this point. Pregnant people, up here, please. Everyone else here. This is very much, the large intestine is about letting go. So when it comes to shame, in the large intestine, the emotion of shame connects to a feeling of, like having done something wrong, which would mean that we get pushed out of the tribe. So shame is almost like we feel something and we don't want to get found out, because we'll get rejected, we'll get pushed out. Like it's gone beyond embarrassment into like shame. Shame is one of the heaviest vibrational energies to carry in the body. So it's also difficult to feel safe when you're carrying shame, because you're always carrying this like imposter syndrome, where it's like, what if I get found out? Yeah. So that's what we're letting go of here. This is a biggie. So as you're rubbing this point, feeling into the large intestine, which runs underneath here and all the way around. Just feeling into that, allowing yourself to breathe and just soften the belly, really soften the belly. We hold so much, we hold on, we contract, like suck in all the time. Ugh. Let it expand as you rub these points and just breathe. Clearing all of that shame. Also, noticing any stories you might have around like the shame of having what you want. So maybe you feel you don't deserve to have money, or whatever it is you're wanting to manifest, because you feel ashamed of something or of yourself. Or maybe if you have money, you'll feel ashamed of that. Yeah, so it can work both ways. I also feel to remind you that it's actually okay to make more money than your parents as well. That just kind of dropped in, so don't know who that's for, but there you go. You're allowed to be more successful than your parents, more wealthy, happier, more successful, whatever. Okay. Is that cleared? Yes. So we've got one more clear. And is it just one? There's no more. Just one clear. Yeah. Okay, great. So the third and final clear is... Okay. Third clear is in the kidney, but we're just going to hold these points here because this will also connect us. And it's anxiety. So just going to hold these points here, and we're all going to breathe together, clearing anxiety. And anxiety is, just that fear of, can I handle what's on the horizon? What if I get what I want and I can't handle it? What if it comes with new responsibilities and I can't handle it? Getting a bit of that imposter syndrome type energy here. Nice big inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. Releasing all that anxiety. Is there anything else left for us to clear around the collective receiving what they desire? Everything is now cleared up to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. Okay, great. So we cleared the stomach, the large intestine and the kidney. In order to help integrate the stomach clear and the kidney clear, in fact, all of them, make sure you stay hydrated to help move any residual energy through the body. You may find that you need to poop, and that's okay because we have cleared the stomach and the large intestine, so you're welcome. Also, the kidney is in the water element, and the water element is something I've really been working with recently. Our kidneys are naturally depleted in terms of like the energetics, in terms of 5 element theory. Our kidneys are naturally depleted just through the way that life is structured for us nowadays. So be sure to take time for yourself. If you happen to be in one of the beautiful Channel Islands and you do live near water, spend time near the water and just be with it, just watch it, experience it, feel the energy of the water and let it, soak into your being, that energy. Watch how it moves. Remember how powerful water is. And remember how powerful you are, because you are made up of all of the elements also. So you have the power of water in you. You have the power to ask for and receive and do whatever the fuck it takes to get what you want. Remember, you are ultimately worthy and deserving of everything you desire, no matter how crazy it might seem. Thank you so much for those of you who join me live. If you are watching this on the replay, then do give me a shout on my Instagram page, Georgina Knoll EFT, because I won't see it on here because I won't get notifications from this page because it's not mine. So I would love to know, and obviously come and give me a follow, come and say hello, come and check out all my content. I have got so much fucking free content. Clearings, EFT tappings, meditations, just all of the things. Come check it out. I love to give this shit away because I just love doing what I do, and I would love to see you come and play in my happy tappy world. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.